I'm lost. Now what am I gonna do? I should have took a survival class with Coalcracker. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft. So today we're going to be talking about gear because we all love gear. We talk about gear all the time on this channel, and recently I did a video on a Bushcraft kit loadout for our basic Bushcraft class, and a lot of people like that, and there was a lot of follow-up questions. We got a lot of emails about that. It helped a lot of people, so we're going to hammer through the next class, and that is our survival course, what you need to bring for that course. And again, another good base kit for your survival needs if you're recreating outdoors. Alright, so before we break into gear, you got to know just a little bit about survival in general and where we're coming at when we talk about this kit and the course itself. So survival to us is some type of emergency situation while you're recreating outdoors, okay? And that could be a variety of different things, but what we focus on is that short-term scenario. So 1 hour up to 72 hours. So we just call it the 72-hour scenario, that something bad happens and you are in a wilderness type environment. Can you keep yourself alive in that time frame until you can self-rescue or somebody comes out and finds you? And then in the class we do talk about longer term survival, but most of the scenarios that most people are going to find themselves in, either be it you're misplaced or lost for a little bit or injured until somebody could come and get you, is going to fall in that time frame. So that's what we really focus on. And the items in this kit are great items to carry along with you all the time when you're going out on a hike or to explore somewhere or just spend some time outside with friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the list on the website, so there's no real special order there of importance or anything. Everything on the list is important because you're going to need these items for the course itself. So the first thing is all your gear needs to be in a backpack that you can actually manage to carry around, okay? So this is a GoRuck backpack. I like these GoRuck backpacks. They're really nice and they're very comfortable and they hold a lot of weight if you need to put a lot of weight in them, but you want to try to keep this that it's reasonable to carry around all day, because here's the thing, the stuff that's on this list, you will need that with you at all times. So even after the first day, you're going to break camp, it's all going to go back in your pack and you are going to be on the road again with us. Not on the road, on the trail again with us. So any backpack will work. I just wouldn't go with a huge hiking backpack or something real small that you have 1,000 things hanging off of it. That's going to be a headache, so don't go with that, okay? So everything here is in the GoRuck pack. Size-wise, you can check that out online or something. I'm never good with like sizes of the backpacks. I'm like, it's about the size of my torso kind of thing. All right, so let's go through the gear and look at the website and we'll tell you exactly what you should be bringing. Now, although in other videos I said that one of the main survival items you need to carry is not maybe a knife, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but generally for most people it's not. The first thing on that list is a knife, because we do go over different techniques and uses for the knife in a survival type situation, and you will be using your knife a lot. Now, here's the couple things I can tell you about the knife. A good survival type knife, in my opinion, that you should be bringing to class is 3 to 4.5 inches blade length and a handle that is very comfortable that fits your entire hand. If you start getting into small handles that they don't fit your hand real well, or like you're like over squeezing, your hand's going to be wore out during the course, and it's going to cause you more headache. If the blade is too big, okay, it's going to cause you a lot of problem too when we get into carving and stuff like that, because of the fact that it's so big and heavy. So you really just want a reasonably sized blade. Again, that size that I told you is going to be really nice and a very comfortable handle. Now, there's a lot of other things that can go into a knife. The only other thing that you need to think about, though, specifically to your gear, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, you will be using a ferrocerium rod for the course. So you're welcome to use the back spine of your knife if you understand that technique. If you don't understand that and you have some knife that you're not sure, just bring, if that's your knife, bring it. Just make sure when we get to the ferro rod that we have some type of striking device with that. But fixed blade knife, important for this one. And then what do you know, the second item is a ferrocerium rod. So these are ferro rods, okay? They are black, or once you scrape them, silver rods. That's all that they are. You can get them through us, you can get them online at Amazon and stuff like that. They're not all created equal. There are different sizes to them. So my recommendation is, if you're gonna buy one of these, I would get a 1/2 inch diameter rod by 6 to 8 inches in length. That is going to work best. No micro rods. You're gonna have a nightmare doing the things we do out there with those real little rods. So 6 inches to 8 inches in length, 1/2 inch in diameter, you'll be golden. Next item is a Bic lighter. The class itself is very fire intensive, so you're gonna be making a lot of fires a lot of different ways. So you're gonna see different fire starting things, but you wanna get a Bic lighter. Don't get the off-brand. They seem not to work as well. So we're gonna teach you lighter recovery and all different things with that. You don't have to prep any gear. I know if you're advanced, you're thinking you gotta do certain stuff to prep this. We will teach that and give time in the class for that. So a Bic lighter, get them at a gas station. All right, next one's a signal flag. Now we sell these, they're just like oversized bandanas with our logo on, bright orange. You don't have to get these specifically from us, but you do need bright orange or fluorescent colored materials, because during the navigation portion, these things come in super handy. So you are going to need some type of bright flag type device so your partner can see where you're at when you're in the woods. One alternative to a signal flag that is definitely doable and I'm okay with is a big oversized t-shirt. So you can get like the fluorescent orange ones at Walmart and stuff like that. Get it big and oversized. That will work fine because you can wear that thing, or you can use it like a flag also. So that's a great alternative. Next is the compass. So we have listed a Sunto MCB compass. I think that these are the best compass, bang for your buck, for what most, like 99% of civilians are going to be using this for, is going to be this compass. And I like everybody at the course to have the same one because everybody's going to learn all the features on this. They're not really expensive. They're great. They're very robust. People beat them up and they just keep on going. So this is the compass that you want. The only alternative you're allowed to bring, if you don't have that and you have one of these Sunto MC2 compasses, all right? If you have one of these, you're welcome to bring this thing, but the MCB is probably where it's at if you don't have anything. We don't want any type of military compasses or base plate compasses. It's just because the way we train with them, this stuff's gonna work better. All right, so we're gonna hammer out these two in one shot here. So that is the Yuko Stormproof matches. The only alternative to these that I would say is the Zippo matches. They're in a red waterproof container. Okay, I would highly recommend having the waterproof container for this course with the matches. And then the Stormproof Sweet Fires. Now there are all different types of Sweet Fires from Yuko. Okay, there's Stormproof Sweet Fires, there are Behemoth Sweet Fires, there are just Sweet Fires. Any of those will work, whatever you can get your hands on. This is an 8-pack. This is more than enough. You don't have to get the big monster 20 packs, but if you want to, you can, but 8 will be more than enough. You will need duct tape. Gorilla Tape 1 inch is the best survival duct tape that you will ever use in your life. You don't want the cheap silver stuff. You want Gorilla brand, and the 1 inch is more than enough for our needs and what we do with it here. So that's gonna get the job done. Next one is a water bottle. So I have on the website a single wall stainless steel water bottle. If you watched my recent video, we did a little comparison from a insulated bottle to a single wall bottle. Single wall boils a lot faster and it's way more efficient for what we do. So pick yourself up one of those. Another alternative also to that is just aluminum bottles. You could buy them like at the dollar store, literally for $1. Those things work fine for the course too, because as you can tell, the bottles do get beat up. So don't bring like your favorite bottle that you had since college and you just cherish it. It's gonna get burned up in the fire. 100 foot of paracord. Do not go cutting up your paracord yet. We will go over all that at the course when we get to the point that we're going to use this stuff. This is 550 cord. We don't want the heavier cordage and we don't want the survival cordage. You're not going to pull anything out of that cordage at the class. You're like, I'm getting away with something, and it's terrible. It doesn't stretch. It's just not good stuff. So 550 paracord, 100 foot of it. All right, the T60, our emergency shelter. Now, some people say, well, you're just trying to sell your shelter. We are, because it's the best shelter, and we teach you how to use this thing very quickly, very efficiently, in different configurations, and then this is what you sleep under at night. So this is a requirement for the course. You can't bring a tarp or anything like that, because that is not what we go over. We transitioned away from that stuff because this is just more efficient, and when you get here and we go over this, you're going to realize why. So you do need a T60. Now, if you don't own one of these, you have to think what your purpose of you taking the class is. And the reason I'm saying that, you want to pick the right color, okay? If you're picking it strictly for emergency purposes, get a brighter color T60, because the goal here is to be found and rescued. We're not trying to hide out in the woods. But if your goal is to hide out in the woods and you're taking this course specifically to learn, hey, I'm going off grid and I'm going to hide in the woods, then get one of our colored ones. But orange is going to be best for emergency and for signaling, so that's what you're going to want. Tent pegs just for the T60. You can get away with 3 or 4. I have 6 listed. I think the ABS plastic tent pegs work the best, to be honest with everybody. The small ABS tent pegs, I think they look like they're probably about 5 inches to me. They do fit inside your T60, so that's why I have the small ones here. But the big ones are great if the ground is real muddy or soft, to get away with that. So 6, I have varying sizes, but whatever you want, as long as you have 6 tent pegs, you'll be fine. Sleeping bag, wool blanket, all right? They do need to fit in your pack, so whatever you're carrying, just plan for that accordingly. And then I would also look at the temperature environment that you're coming to, depending when the class is, might be a good determination what you want to bring. You want to be super warm because it's colder out, or is it more summer and you can get away with a blanket? If the class, I believe this year's class is in the summertime, so by all means you could bring just like a fleece type blanket to use that if you want to sleep out, because it's going to be warm. You won't need to be super cozy within a sleeping bag in the snow or anything like that. Headlamp, no flashlights. You need a headlamp for this course. You can't get away with anything else. It has to be able to be on your head, and you need your hands free because you will be working into the dark during the course, so it is important you have a headlamp. Change out your batteries before you come with fresh batteries. Bring an extra set. All right, and then the last item, notepad and pencil. Here's the thing, you need something that is like of substance here. So it doesn't have to be big, but I would really recommend a write in rain, because if the weather goes bad, you are going to be on navigation courses. You're going to be doing stuff that you need to write down very specific information. So if you have a write in rain notebook, it's going to handle the weather real well, and it's not going to run. If you just buy a cheap spiral bound notebook and you're writing with pencil or pen and it starts to downpour, it's going to become a mushy mess, and you're not going to be able to read all your coordinates and all of your information that you need. So you don't need a whole binder type unit like this, but it is sort of handy. But overall, I would say write in rain notebook and pen and pencils, and that way when you're out here you can see what's working best in the environment for you. I know myself, I switch back and forth. Sometimes I'm a pencil guy, sometimes I'm a pen, and it really depends on the weather and what seems to be most readable for me. All right, and that is the gear that you are going to need to carry along with you for the course. And again, this is a great starter kit that you can pack, and then you can go out and train on your own. Now, I'm sure some people are out there thinking, well, listen, there's a lot of items that you don't have. You don't have a ground cloth. You don't have the goal here is to keep yourself alive. It is not a comfort situation. So we train those things in the course, and we talk about all those different things that we forego in this kit. So that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about this. But for the course itself, nothing else. This is what you need. Now that raises the question, well, what about food, water, clothes, all of that stuff? You will have time in the mornings and evenings to access your vehicle, so you can grab food and stuff then. We don't give breaks for lunch. We're not like, hey, you have a 2-hour lunch break. So you need on-the-go food. You have to just pack that along with you and pre-plan ahead. But definitely bring yourself non-perishable food that you can take on the trail. I recommend for every class at least 2 gallons of water in jugs. Just keep them inside your vehicle, and then lots of extra clothing, rain gear, coats. It's stuff that, listen, you're going to be able to go and get out of your vehicle if the weather turns and it gets bad. So it's better to have it and not use it than not have it, because if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to use it when you need it. So that's some important stuff just to keep in consideration there. All right, guys, so that's today's video. That is the gear you need to bring for the course. It's also a nice, like I said about a bazillion times already, just a nice loadout to get you started on your survival training journey. Okay, so take this kit out and enjoy it and have a good time outside. If you're interested in this class, the link is down in the description. Also, that link to the Bushcraft gear video is down in the description, and you can check out all our classes, all our gear, all our blogs at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. And until the next video, stay in the woods.